Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Straight ahead, it's Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a great one in store between the Carolina Panthers and the Los Angeles Rams. And off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. A fairly short kick from the 14. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25.
Take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they have everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And they'll send the slot in motion left. And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards and a Panther first down. Solid running there. And, CD, we hear so much about what it takes to win in the playoffs. Most people like to include having a strong running game in their assessment. And with this man in the backfield, this group has a strong running game without a doubt.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you there because in terms of yardage, he's a top 5 running back in the league. And in terms of impact on a game, not many better than him. And when they're flowing and he's carrying the ball consistently, they're tough to beat.
And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. As they run the counter play. And some nice running, going to get him down close to a first down at the Rams 35. On an 8-yard gain, much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon. Not for him, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They'll try and run for it. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. So a big play there on 4th, and now 1st and 10 at the 30. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Steps away to his left. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on 1st down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
On 2nd down, they'll try and run the counter. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
So play number 10 now coming. It's been a long opening drive, but this is 3rd down. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. A 3-yard gain and enough for the 1st down. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. And they'll run on the inside handoff. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give them a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. The 13th play now coming on this opening drive. Here's 3rd down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. From 13 yards out. And the Panthers will strike first here in this wild card matchup. To try here for the extra point. And this will be good to give the Panthers a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Panthers 7, Rams 0.
The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get it down at about the 17-yard line.
They're on 17-yard line.
Come on. Hey.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. Brian Burns, the one to bring him down.
Good running right there. And this is a man who's a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances. And he picks up nice yardage on that one.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
How about the job there on the outside? Shed the wide receiver and was able to make the tackle on the perimeter.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. And the Rams are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. Well, do you want to unpack that one, or do you want me to?
You're the boss.
We get the interception, then really he's just too loose with the football on the return, and he coughs it right back up the other way.
I've seen this happen in an NFL game, and boy, did it cost someone. San Francisco at Atlanta a few seasons ago. Atlanta throws the interception. San Francisco runs it back. Game is salted away. Fumbles on the return. Atlanta gets it back, drives down, kicks the game-winning field goal.
How about that? And a crazy situation we just saw there. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Sometimes in the run game, you can make the argument that quickness beats size. And how about the example right here?
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On play action, they'll throw. And that is incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Taken from just outside the 30. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. And look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
It was Brian Cook who made the tackle. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And some room to work. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Carolina. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. 16 yards right off the bat, but a first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
They find some open field here. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 35 yards the gain there. Another first down as well.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end or the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. The defense was ready for the run-pass option, diagnosed it perfectly.
Not only did they stack him up at the point of attack, but he was met by a host of light-colored jerseys.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now back to throw. He'll get this one complete to Atwell. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
On gain of 11, exit 3rd and 1.
It looks like, yes, it is 6 defensive backs on the field for Carolina.
They're going with a dime set.
Hey, check that, street.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, I could spin this negatively as he just got back to the line of scrimmage, but when you really analyze it, he took away a big play for the defense, made it an uneventful run because he avoided a sack and didn't lose yardage.
Pack the 60, pack the 60. Cowboy 80.
2nd and 2. And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
Waste of time. Okay, ready?
This Carolina defense looking to keep him out of the end zone once more. 3rd and goal. He gives it up, and he takes it across for a Rams touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Rams have got it back to within a score. So the watch is officially on now. That ties him with Priest Holmes and Sean Alexander for 2nd place all-time on the single-season list of rushing touchdowns.
And partner, he now just sits one behind LaDainian Tomlinson's record of 28. We know LT's watching. We knew he'd hate to lose his record, but we also understand he has great admiration for what this man's done, and he would be a worthy successor to the crowd. LaDainian Tomlinson, one of the great players and great people in the NFL.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. A fairly short kick from the 14. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. So for this offense, Charles, remember drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there was never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
He'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. Here's the Panthers punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. This is taken at the 18. It'll be a 45-yard punt, couple that with a loss on the return. And the Rams will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
Their dreams of an undefeated season shattered with the loss a week ago. Now, look, whenever an undefeated team goes down, you always hear some say, well, they needed that. I don't know, Charles. Is that a narrative that you buy into?
Well, I haven't met a coach yet that feels like they needed that loss. You know, that's not something that they're in favor of. But I do know this. People like us, our colleagues, all of us in the media, constantly hammering a team that's undefeated. Hey, do you think you can do it the whole season? Can you carry it the whole way? That does wear down a group. And sometimes that loss, get us off your back. You can move forward from there.
Go, Reed, go!
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 66 yards rushing for him in this first half, as he has certainly carried over his regular season success into the playoffs. They'll look to throw here on 1st down.
Throws left side. Atwell's got it.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. The slot man in motion right. Now a play fake here on 1st down.
Open man is the tight end, Noah Gray.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted.
And the Panthers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Boy, the coverage there, airtight as he comes away with the interception.
Love that observation there, because they were taking a shot at the end zone, but you're right about the coverage. Absolutely tremendous. And this they could clip for a training tape. Staying with him down the field, locates the football in the air, and comes away with the interception.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
And with a 14-7 lead, they might just be happy to take this thing on into the tunnel. They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted.
So first thing crossed my mind is, why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
Second down and 8.
Let's go, let's go, let's go!
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
And he will score. Touchdown!
2-2 Atwell.
As the first half is winding down.
And the Rams have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half.
Lutz with the extra point. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
A fairly short kick from the 14. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup as we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. And this is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. The 40. The 20. He will take this all the way. Touchdown.
Well, he made the right choice by result, but a little bit surprising because now with touchbacks coming back to the 25 instead of the 20, when guys fielding that deep in the end zone, I think most coaches want to take a knee.
It's resulting in more kneel downs right there. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. A fairly short kick from the 14. And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
144 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here.
Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. As they run the counter play. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
It's so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. 23 yards on the play.
Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
Now they send a man in motion right.
And they'll run again. but he will lose yardage here. Back to the 4-yard line. This is a big play in this wild card matchup, facing 3rd and goal.
And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? From the gun, he'll hand this off. And it looks like he's going to be stopped short of the first down by about a yard. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal.
This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
Here we go on 4th down. And he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1.
And now the red flag out on the field. We'll have a challenge forthcoming. So that challenge not successful there, and that's going to cost him the first of his timeouts. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throw over the middle, caught by the tight end, Gray. And he's brought down, but not before a gain of 13, down to the 13. 1st and 10 in the red zone.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Open man is Atwell, complete. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he is going to lose yardage here. The defensive coordinators love that. You got a cornerback willing to stick his nose in there, come up on run support, and stop that pop pass dead in its tracks.
And partner, one good thing about trying to defend that play, you should see it coming the whole way. You see the receiver coming in motion in your direction. Nice job eluding the blocker, making the play behind the line of scrimmage. An even better job studying the play before you have to try and defend it in a game.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
They'll look to throw again.
And he will find Atwell. That's complete. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at their 49-yard line.
3 yards remain for 2nd down.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, LA. A That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a two-touchdown lead, right? Because you've taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Taken at the 15, a short kick. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. 1 quarter remains in this NFC wild card matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10, right at the 40. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he's got some space here.
And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
Right back to him on 1st down.
Boy, 203 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Panthers have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Extra point splits the uprights. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And this a very important drive leading in the 4th quarter of this wild card game. But this one far from over as they start out here 1st down. He's got a man, complete.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. And sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
The linebacker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, on the tackle.
This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
And power run running here down to the 6-yard line. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
60 Bison, 60 Bison. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
He's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. A great effort there. Scoring on the keeper from 6 yards out. And the Rams have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter. Lutz good on the extra point. And the lead now up to 14. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Pulls it in at the 13. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. If they want to advance in this divisional round, look, obviously the time is now. Trailing here in the 4th as they go to work on a crucial drive, 1st and 10. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And the slot man goes in motion left. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 234 yards rushing for him now in the afternoon as he just continues to pummel this defense. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. A handoff as they run the counter play. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he stopped immediately there. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. That's to his running back, complete. He'll get it inside the 20. And he is going to have a Panthers 1st down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. He'll look to throw. Out to his left. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Give him big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right. And if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away.
This is taken just shy of the 10.
The Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that 3rd timeout would have really helped here.
Another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. Room here to run. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game.
And a lot of times, these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
19 Tigers.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 yards is the pickup there, and that should just about put a bow on this one.
I know we're the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football. We just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. Getting into the playoffs is one